I played lots of video games growing up, and the number one game I played more than every other game combined was Call of Duty. I have months of game time, which I'm sure a lot of you do too. And I'm sure most of you have played most of the games. But we all know they're not made equal. This is a fact that not all Call of Duty games are as good as other Call of Duty games. That's fine, that's fair. But which ones are actually good? Where would I rank them? This is a tier list. I've never done one of these before, but I'm honestly really excited to do it because I'm probably gonna hurt some feelings. So we're gonna go oldest to newest based on what's in this list, and then I'm gonna throw in the two newest ones. I'm not interested in the remasters, just the base games as they came out. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. It's a game that if you haven't played, you should. And for the time it was released, yeah, it had, I had a decent amount of content. I don't know exactly what to say about it because I've played it. I didn't play it nearly as much as the other games. But I played it. I hit a triple with a shotgun once on Vacant, which is a great map. I think the reality of it is it's an old game. Maps didn't make any sense. The player was good, but not as good as its sequels. This whole list is going to be upsetting to some of you, probably all of you. I think a good place for this to start is B tier. World at War sucks ass. C tier. Single player is okay. The controls felt very clunky the whole time. Veteran difficulty was way too hard in the single player. I think I got through to like the second to last mission. You know which one I'm talking about. The one where you gotta get in the big building. I forget what it's called. 14-year-old me could not handle it at that point. I played it late, but I could not do it. And I doubt I could do it now because I was a lot better than I am now. See, it's not at the bottom of the list. The bottom of the list is reserved for a couple of different games, but it's not as good as COD 4. Moving on. Modern Warfare 2. I remember my mom went and got it at the midnight release without telling us. We were in bed. It was a school night, obviously. I believe Call of Duties are always released on a Tuesday. I don't know why. So we wake up that morning. I go downstairs. Remember, this is elementary school. I'm 9 years old. I come down. And my mom is like, hey, I bought this for you last night. I was like, wow, that's cool. At this point, we still only had one Xbox. All three of us, me and my older brothers, all wanted to play it. So really, she gave us a ticking time bomb. We would play split screen multiplayer. I remember we actually had the DLCs for that game. This is one of the first games I genuinely remember being excited for. But as time went on, I actually ended up getting my own Xbox. I had my own copy of Modern Warfare 2. Me and my brother, Aaron, and all of our friends played this game to death. I love this game. I have a million good memories on this game. But guys, it was busted. Literally some of the basic functions of the game. One-man army pro in noob tubes. Are you serious? Never got a patch. I did get the remaster and I did replay through the campaign. Can't believe they shot Ghost again. I just want the good ending where Shepard's like, oh yeah, thanks man. Alright, get on board the helicopter. Done. Solid A tier. Yeah, it's close. I'll be honest. It's close to S tier. I'd put it on the line if I could. Call of Duty Black Ops 1, 2010. I did not care for this game. Heavily enjoyed the single player. It was great. Kidding me? Reznov, Hudson's goated. Reznov, goated. Weaver, dude only has one eye. Goated. Shout out to my Cyclopses out there. Solid game. Solid plot. 10-year-old John didn't know what was going on. I just knew this was the first time I could blow somebody's legs off. Wasn't that good of a multiplayer experience. I hated, and I still hate to this day, the credit system. You'd unlock something, and then you'd have to buy it. Why? What was the point? I got all the way here, and I gotta buy it? The saving grace for Black Ops 1, zombies. Zombies are kick-ass. And from this point on, zombies will be mentioned in every single Treyarch game because they need to be, because it is they were such an essential part of the game. It's better than World at War, so it's gonna go in the B tier. But don't get comfortable. Modern Warfare 3. I have well over a month of playtime in this game. It is the game I am best at. This is definitely the most balanced game. Every gun was usable. And then there were no game-breaking like bugs, or there was no one-man army, there was no danger close, there was nothing to hurt the game. But even when it comes to people who I've asked about Modern Warfare 2, and who I know Modern Warfare 2 is their favorite game, they've admitted MW3 is a more balanced game. And then it was a game I was better at. Single player was not nearly as good as Modern Warfare 2's, but again, they don't have the biggest pull on this. It was just a solid game all around. And then it had my favorite game mode of all time, Face Off. They kind of brought it back in Modern Warfare with Gunfight, but it just isn't the same. Begging you with tears in my eyes, please bring back Face Off. Proper Face Off. S&D, Team Deathmatch, Domination on a small, purpose-built map. I am begging you. S tier. S tier game. That is the most fun I've ever had. A ground, an erosion, two of the best maps in Call of Duty history. I don't want to hear it. Call of Duty Black Ops 2. A really good campaign, and its multiplayer is highly regarded as one of the best. And I actually can't argue with that. I love the Black Ops 2 multiplayer. It's the game I played the most by myself. Biggest thing for Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 was that I always had friends to play with. Black Ops 2, not all my buddies liked it. It was the game that I would go to play by myself. They finally got their shit together and made a decent voice chat. The multiplayer experience alone easily puts it in A tier. Then there's the zombies. Have you guys played Mob of the Dead? It's really something to behold. I'm going to be honest with you. It's Alcatraz, Tommy gun, zombies, mobsters. It's as good as it sounds. And then they had things like Town. Transit sucked ass. So if you never had any of the DLCs, I'm going to understand if you don't necessarily agree with me. But if you didn't have any of the DLCs, you could shut up. They were phenomenal. But I will happily put it in S tier. Call of Duty Ghosts. I don't have much to say. I didn't play a ton of it at this point. I kind of moved on, or at least went back. And I mostly just stuck to Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 2. And honestly, I think that says a lot about Ghosts. It wasn't bad. Just wasn't as good as the ones that came before it. And the ones that came before it weren't old enough for me to not want to play them anymore. So nowhere near as good as Black Ops 2 and MW3. Nowhere near as good as MW2 either. And here's the thing, is this is kind of where the bad times for Call of Duty really start. I don't think Ghost is a bad game. And I think this was the biggest issue, is they were trying to make a game that was good on the new consoles. This is right when the next gen consoles, well, the current gen, I guess, or old gen. Oh god. This is when the PS4 and Xbox One were really coming out. They were trying to make a game big and like, hey, look at what we can do now. And it was, okay, cool, but it's not as fun. Wasting my time. It had a point. And for that, I'm not too sure about this, because I have played Ghosts since then. I've played Ghosts, and it's not a bad game. It's just uninteresting. So D tier. I'm sorry. Ish. Kind of. Advanced Warfare. I'm going to say something, and then I'm going to have to take it back in about a minute. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, I hated the movement. I hated the jetpacks. I hated the way it looked. I hated the guns. I hated the art style. It was bad. The single player had Kevin Spacey in it, which is... We didn't know he was a piece of shit yet. But the single player still kind of fell flat. It's... Is the... whatever. Then the multiplayer was so just jarring. I admit the esports were great, but the survival and like their like zombie, not very good. Overall, Exo Zombie. Oh my god, I forgot about Exo. Man, F tier. Stupid jetpacks. Anyway, Black Ops 3 is B tier. Okay, and I am going to understand if you're not happy about that. Hear me out. Black Ops 3 did the jetpacks right. They were objectively better. They were more controllable. Solid. You know, like the movement felt good. Guns were good enough. They wouldn't, I wouldn't call them balanced, but I also wouldn't call them imbalanced. This is the first game I got when I got my PlayStation 4. It was super fun. Had a ton of fun on it with my buddies. But that's not why it's in B tier. You know what? I've changed my... It's A tier. And I actually mean that. Single player was okay. But then we get to zombies. The core zombie maps were great. You know, the originals that came out with the game, what were they? They were... Shadows of Evil was understandably hated at first, but I grew to like it a lot. But then we got back to the originals, you know, Tank, Richtofen, Nikolai, holy shit, Takeo Misaki. So then we get through those maps, and I remember being very into zombies at this time because the storyline's great. And then, you know, after a couple of years, I know I'm kind of breaking the rules and I'm not talking about them in their prime, but that's okay. They came out with Chronicles. It's a lot of the OG zombie maps. It was... So you had all the maps from World at War. Did you have all of them? Yeah. And then you had all of them from Black Ops 1. I can't remember off the top of my head, and I don't feel like looking it up again. But great. And I loved it. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. I'm going to put it at C tier. Infinite Warfare is not as bad as everybody says it is. I feel bad because obviously Modern Warfare Remastered came out and everybody was more interested in playing that. Rightfully so, it was a better game. I feel bad because it wasn't horrible. It wasn't even bad. It was, you know, it just wasn't what we wanted. I think standalone probably would have been a pretty solid game. I don't know if anybody ever would have played it. It kind of reminds me of Titanfall, but I never want to see a jetpack game ever again. Call of Duty World War II. Besides the shitty title, I hated the name. Still do. B tier. I thoroughly enjoyed the multiplayer. Okay, so pretty much from Advanced Warfare to this game, Call of Duty was incredibly plagued by loot boxes. Black Ops 3 is included in that. And they would generally give you quite a buff. You know, the guns would be better. They were completely new guns. They weren't just skins. And World War II at launch didn't have a lot of guns. And then they planned to add more, which, future reference, stop doing that. Have a lot of guns and then add more. The current number of guns in Modern Warfare is great. Should have been launched with about the same. But I didn't mind them in this game because you could get them without buying them, and they were more than just random. And they weren't such a grind. You could get quite a few of them every day. I like the headquarters thing. I understand why it didn't work. It's a Call of Duty game. You don't need it. It works in something like Destiny, but I liked it. It made it feel a little less like Call of Duty for a year, and that's good. You know what? Trash. Guys, we need to talk about this. I hated this game. There are no redeeming qualities. I bought it twice. Once for PC and once for PlayStation. And I would really like my $120 back. Desperately. Blackout sucked as a battle royale. Just did. It sucked. It was a bad game. Alright? It is, in my opinion, unequivocally the worst Call of Duty game ever made. COD, it is not as good as COD Mobile. I mean, I wouldn't. I don't go out of my way to play it. And it's pay to win as shit. But better than Black Ops 4. By a mile. Shit game. Garbage game. I would literally rather have kidney stones than play Blackout ever again. That being said, I don't really care for Warzone either. At this point, I was done with BR, so maybe that's why. It was okay. Oh, I thought I'd switch now. This game sucked. This list didn't include the two newest games. It did not include Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. It did not include Cold War. So I'm gonna put them in post. I still play Call of Duty Modern Warfare every once in a while. I still think it was a pretty solid game. I loved the level of customization. I liked the kind of nuance and complexity. I liked how this multiplayer was done in general. I think there were some things that I definitely would change. Free maps, free DLC. Poggers, dude. I love it. Battle Pass. I got nothing wrong with a Battle Pass, period. I had an argument when the game came out because obviously they do the thing where your level resets after every single season. And I had an argument with a buddy of mine who said that was really stupid. And I was like, no, it's not. I kind of like it. I think it's really stupid. No, I concede, Zachary. You were right. It is kind of stupid, especially after, because I was kind of annoyed when I came back after months, and I was level 1, and I mean I had all the guns unlocked. I have multiple gold guns, and you know I got play of the game. I heard some guy in the game chat go, "That man's a level 8." You know, no, I'm not a level 8. You nerd. I've been playing this shit since before I was born. I've spent more than half of my life clapping your cheeks on shipment. This is not new. In any game with the AA-12 is the best Call of Duty game in the world. Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I'm going to say a solid A tier. Probably leaning on a B tier because I hate Warzone. Single player was good. I liked the kind of grittier, not as, just shoot 'em up. Cold War. Call of Duty Cold War. I don't actually own this game, but I have played it a little bit, and I picked it up and I was pretty good at it, which I wasn't surprised at. I was like, I mean, it's Call of Duty. I was playing on Nuketown. I know the map, but I was kind of annoyed that it just felt like a rehashed Modern Warfare, and I think that's a bad thing. I genuinely think that's a bad thing. Yeah, I just don't care for it. Lack of detail. It's not nearly as well refined as Modern Warfare. It's not nearly as bad as Black Ops 4 was. And to go back to Black Ops 4, I should be nicer. They were rushed. A game got canceled before, and they had to really the weakest on this list by a large margin. I'm really rude to devs. I'm really sorry. But yeah, Cold War it just isn't it for me. It's okay. I'll give it a D tier. I'll put it along with Ghosts. I think that's where it belongs. As for Warzone, I hate Warzone. I don't think it's a good battle royale. I don't think it's good for Call of Duty. There's no anti-cheat, so everybody cheats. Yeah, I'm sure you don't agree with my list. Tell me exactly what I got wrong in detail in the comments below. Follow us on all socials at Shoddy Studios. You can leave a like and subscribe. I really want to start building a community. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Good. That's one less loose end.
No!